Click, click, boom, baby.
I'm counting in, baby.
Nah, that was a different song.
I got 5 on it.
I'm so lightheaded. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I guess it's recording. Quality high.
Good start.
Yeah, we're good. Welcome to the Apartment 205 podcast episode.
The official podcast of this apartment.
Of this apartment, and probably not the only one in the building, though. How many do you think other people? I mean, there's a lot of people in this apartment building. There's got to be at least 3.
At least one.
I think there's got to be at least 3.
I think it's the old man.
The one that walks around all the time?
Yeah. What else does he have to do?
His podcast is definitely about cigars and being retired.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, that's cool.
No? Nothing from you?
I don't know.
Welcome to episode 3.
Is it episode 3 already?
It's episode 3. I made the first one episode 0, but then I changed it
I
because I was
kind of don't
want
to count the last one. The last one was pretty boring and not as good.
Okay, you learn from your mistakes. Be less boring.
Feels like just yesterday.
Well, not you, all of us.
Episode 0.
Yeah, I know. It's been so long. 3 weeks, though. 3 weeks is a long time for some people, if you're simple-minded like me. Anyway, so we just saw Us.
Yeah, we did.
Wait, Andrew, did you like it, yes or no?
No. Yes.
Are you giving it a 2 out of 3?
Giving it a 2 out of 3. I'm giving it a 3 out of 3 on like the actual scale, but then a 2 out of 3 on if I liked it.
Yeah, like I said, the filmmaking was amazing. The score was good, but the story was, I guess, predictable, but I was still able to turn my brain off. Remi?
Yeah, but so I give it an 8 out of 10. Loved it.
I would give it an 8 out of 10.
My question to you is, what could have made it better? What would be a better... You keep talking about what a good film it was. We all agree. It was well done. The score was good. Cinematography was good. Set was good. Acting was good. It was all good.
Yeah.
Why did the story fall short for you? What could have been better, or what would have made it better?
Just some of the story choices, I thought. Like a lot of questions I had that, you don't have to answer all of them, I guess. But some of them, like, sometimes they would mirror the people and other times they wouldn't. And there's no real reason why, which I guess is fine, but also why?
Well, they share a soul but not a brain, so...
Yeah, but like the boy kid killed the other boy kid by walking backwards, but why didn't, like, anyone else think to do that? And why did, I guess it was kind of explained at the end, but why did all the other people immediately kill their real people, but Lupita Nyong'o's family didn't? But I guess the ending kind of, she had a reason, but I don't know. Just
yeah,
like
that was
stuff like
that was a thing for me, is why did they draw it out so much for their family? Because like Tim Heidecker's family
just dies.
And like Elizabeth Moss,
they're just like, boom, you're all dead now. Thanks.
Yeah, and they kind of like toyed with them a little bit, which it didn't make the movie not enjoyable for me. It was kind of just like, I wonder why.
It makes sense that they drew it out because she had a personal vendetta.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
No, but I'm talking about Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah,
I'm mixing the Mosses up. Elizabeth Moss doesn't kill Lupita either. She's sting there doing stuff, and
that also.
So that's what I mean.
Yeah,
is
like,
why was that?
Because you know what? Because the Lupita Nyong'o, Lupita, her character in the underground who got switched. Spoilers.
Oh, they know it's her.
Yeah, they know. They're just like, we can't because she's the one who gave us our powers.
That makes sense. They did try to kill the family. I definitely need to put a
spoiler alert on this bad boy.
It's okay. It's fine. Yeah, they definitely...
Makes sense. Yeah, no, because she trained him. Makes sense.
Because the rest of the family, they didn't keep around as long.
No, hold on. She didn't train him. The one that they were going to kill but didn't was from there, sure, but she was a little kid when she left. She
maybe
didn't train
there's a
anyone.
way they know.
Like, yeah, maybe
they would
knew.
all know that happened, and that's why they're revolting. Ultimately, yeah.
I agree with that, but... I don't know. When you said she like trained them.
Well, not trained,
she
but,
didn't.
But she started. She's like, "Listen, this ain't me." Well, probably didn't. She's just like, "We need to go up and take the whole world out and hold hands." What do you think?
Yeah, but why?
What do you mean, why?
Also, like, the only person with a vendetta against the real people is Lupita Nyong'o. So why do everyone else have to die?
because
she had to make a statement about the people underground. That was the whole end speech.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
My biggest thing was at the very end, she flashes back and it's like then she knows that she's one of them. So did she not know? Did she forget? How does she not know that she's
like
them?
That either.
That's like the one thing that, in my
Wait,
opinion,
who
brought it
flashes
down.
back?
Lupita
Lupita
Nyong'o
Nyong'o.
at the end. Adelaide. She flashes when she's driving the ambulance. She flashes back, and that's when they like show the audience that that's actually the underground, the shadow.
Yeah.
The whole time. So, again, pretty predictable. We all could have guessed that. But my question is, how did she forget? Or was it an act the entire time she's been up there? Because she was afraid. She was
I think,
scared.
honestly-
I think she was just glad that she got out and was able to not die. Because obviously, she would have had to have known that she was from there. I think she was just trying to.
I think it
make
was
it out on
honestly what you were saying. It was for the audience in a way. It was her in a way reminiscing, like I got out of there.
No, I understand that part. I'm talking about leading up to that, the entire movie. She's afraid of these other people and she's protecting her family and she's doing all of these things.
Yeah.
But when she flashes back, you know, she's looking in the mirror. She's looking all devilish. She's like, I'm not your daughter. Like, you know, whatever. So as growing up, going through life, is she legitimately scared of this thing that's happening because it's not actually her and she doesn't know it's coming? But if she doesn't know, then why is she scared?
That's
Do you
good-
see what I'm
that-
saying?
Yeah, no, that's good.
That's like my one bugaboo.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would say it's just because maybe she knows what they're capable of if they ever did get out, and obviously she got out, so she knows it's possible for everyone else to get out. I mean, that's got maybe be a stretch.
I don't know.
but-
I want to talk to Jordan Peele about this. I have a question.
Hey, Jordan, if you could just call in,
Yeah, because, you know, there's that whole
email
scene.
us, tweet us,
She has
whatever.
that whole scene like in the beginning where she's like, when I was little, I saw this girl and I thought she was me and they're coming for me. And she like has this whole thing that she's never told anyone and she's protecting her family and she's like doing all of this. But did she just like regress? Did she like compartmentalize that she is a shadow and just like as she got older she became not a shadow because she was living the real life and she like forgot and it was in the recess of her mind until the very end when she was like, oh shit, it's me? Or did she know the whole time?
I think
I
she
think
was.
she knew the
I
whole
think she
time.
knew the whole time. She just also knew that now her son knows. Like I think she was just kind of like, oh shit,
Recognizing like
my
he
son knows that I'm not me.
Yeah.
That I am me and I've always been me, but also I'm the quote unquote evil me.
Yeah.
Gotcha, but she wasn't evil.
Yeah,
She was just
but
Everyone's
in the
capable of
grand
being
scheme
evil
of
and not
things,
evil.
If you want to look at it as she was the negative version of herself.
That's like another reason why I love movies like this. I just love when there's a gray area. There is no good and evil because they suffered and they have their own agenda and they were doing what they thought was right. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I love movies where there is no definitive they are good, they are bad.
She said,
Yeah.
"We're American."
Yeah, she did. The last thing I'll say about the movie before we move on, unless anyone else has anything to add, I loved that ballet scene at the end when they were fighting and they kept
Yeah.
like the editing between going back and forth from like the ballet and then them like fighting and going through the hallway and all that. Ugh, riveting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Riveting. No, it was like I said. The filmmaking was phenomenal. Okay, you know what? Yeah, the more I think about it, it was a really good movie. I don't think it was necessarily overrated. It's hard not to have a little bit of a script that you can guess in a way these days.
I don't
Yeah.
think being predictable is bad.
No, I
Not
don't
every
either.
movie needs to be M. Night Shyamalan.
I'm curious-
I don't need to be
Yeah. I
surprised
just
by an
think-
ending.
The whole time I was sitting there waiting for the twist. So I was thinking, am I like, just what is it? What could it be? Are they clones? And is it an alternate dimension?
That's the thing. The one I was about to
So
say.
I was
The
kinda distracted the whole
wanting
time.
more of what the even like deeper twist behind who the shadow people are.
'Cause it's-
That's
he-
the big.
It's almost
That's the thing that I think maybe
Yeah.
a lot more people want to know about rather than, oh my God, it's her, yada, yada,
yeah,
yada.
like, why do these people exist? in the
But
first
ultimately, Jordan Peele is going to be like, nope.
He said, "I'm hosting Twilight Zone now.
Yeah, no.
Watch that."
I just feel like horror movies, like I was saying in the truck on the way back, I feel like a lot of times you don't need an explanation, and that's kind of what makes movies so good.
Yeah.
They don't have to be horror movies or supernatural, but when you create your own idea, or like, I don't want to use the word imagination because that sounds lame, but like if you create what you think it should be instead of them doing it and getting it wrong, I think that's better. It's like in scary movies when they show the monster and you get disappointed by the way the monster looks instead of it just being a scary monster that you know is there, and like using your own fear to create the monster that you never see. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It can go both ways.
But anyway.
Like we saw Captive State. And it was interesting because that wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't good.
I didn't see it, so don't give no spoilers for me personally. Don't give me any.
Like
Here's the thing.
Story wasn't as good as this, but everything else also is way worse than Us.
It felt,
I feel like Captive State was a little more tense for me in certain points, like during the bus.
Yeah, the best when I read that one review of it was a TV series chopped up to be a theatrical movie. Because the pacing was kind of odd, but a lot of times when we watched it, Andrew, like the suspense, like when we were watching Us, we were just like, yeah, you felt it in your chest.
Even from the beginning, I mean, a carnival or like a boardwalk pier type thing, those are usually like portrayed as fun and like just all the lights and the way that they edited. I don't know if it was a combination of score, camera,
like I said,
sound
the filmmaking
editing
was phenomenal. Jordan Peele knows what he's doing.
I was so tense.
Like I
the
could
entire
see,
movie.
As someone who watches a ton of movies, I could see as not even being a filmmaker where he would stop and say cut and be like, fuck, that was a good scene.
God, when they're walking on the beach and they have the shadows, the long shadows, before the shadow people come up and they're going on the beach day, and there's that like really intense score, and it's like a bird's eye kind of view, but the way it's angled, they have these really long shadows, and it's like really ominous. But like I was saying, it's crazy how they were able to achieve that during a daytime beach scene.
Yeah.
You could say, and you could say,
we'll see if I will.
What?
You might not, that it was foreshadowing.
So many times during the movie, I kept like looking in the sides of like scenes and seeing if like there'd be like them already there outside, or like extra shadows or extra things placed somewhere. And I think I was too strict because I didn't even notice that shadow thing because I was looking way too hard, and that was right in front of me.
Well, I only put it together when she's, giving her speech, when she has them all tied up and she says a shadow, and I was like, oh man, beach scene.
Yeah.
Because I just appreciated that scene, and then once it tied in, I was like, oh, dope.
Yeah,
Good filmmaking.
And also, in the beginning, when that lady was chewing popcorn, I wanted to wring her fucking neck, so...
I just heard the bag crinkling.
There she was. Luckily, it stopped. And then also, gotta love it when the random guy in the theater, I forget what scene it was. It was when they first showed up. He was like, "Oh hell!"
Yeah.
I think everybody equally was just like, he has good timing. That guy doesn't know he has good timing, but he had perfect timing.
I think the best, Andrew and I experienced it while you were in the bathroom. The best summary of that movie: the girl is walking out. There's like a girl and a guy, and they're walking out. She says, "So like, is she dead?" And the guy says, "Nah, she's just living her best life now."
Oh my god.
That's it. That's the movie.
Yeah.
She living her best life now.
I got 5 on it, first of all, but I've got like already post movie wonderings of so what happens when they're done holding hands.
Yeah.
I would love it if it was a book, because they could go into such depth.
Oh, it's
with
such
it.
a big
It would
world.
be
Yeah.
such a good book.
Also, America.
Explain.
You have so many guns.
My other thing, well, they're in California.
Oh, yeah.
My other thing, dumb question. Why did they have to wear glove and just a glove on one hand?
I don't know. That's another thing I really want to look up to later on, is like all the small things that Jordan Peele like slipped in, why certain things are.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Get Out came out, there was tons of small little things that even he didn't even think about, like when he was pulling the cotton out of the chair to put in his ear.
And people were like talking about slavery and stuff,
cotton.
and he's like, "Oh shit, I did that."
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like he put stuff in there that he doesn't even think about that, he kind of takes creative
Yeah.
liberties. But that's one thing I want to find out is like overall what the movie meant to him. But then also I feel like he has multiple like This Is America sort of ideas of what the movie meant to him and what it can mean to other people.
Yeah.
I'm just interested to find out because I don't know what do you think the whole idea of the movie was for you? I guess because obviously art's subjective.
That's such a hard question
Yeah.
because I just saw it. For me, I took the movie as just your two selves, and you have like a darkness that's part of you, and then you have like what I don't know. I would need time to formulate what it meant to me emotionally, but in short, it's kind of just
I think it's a little bit of that, and then also
unless it's not that deep, maybe he's just like, wouldn't it be freaky if there was like another one of you?
So you saw the commercial for the 1986 Hands Across America.
Ugh.
I was like, horror movie.
Okay. I thought also the fact that like even your negative self, if you will, has the ability to be good. I don't know. Like even at your worst point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was kind of what I took it as. Like you can, if you're bad, you can be good. If you're good, you can go bad.
But what was the whole
change.
the thing that's still, and it was such a huge part of the film, was what was the whole idea with Hands Across America? Why was that?
That was to end hunger.
I know.
I think for me that just meant like being connected and like finding your humanity and doing something to help people, and
Yeah,
the people above ground had this great life that they were experiencing while the people below, I don't even know if that's what you want to call it. They're not mole people, but you know what I mean? Like they were experiencing, like she said, just like they never saw the sun. They didn't do anything. And I think it's just kind of calling to like finding your humanity and being together and connected and like we exist and we're here kind of a thing.
Yeah. Now, do you think it was only shadow people for America or the whole world?
That's what I was wondering at the very end was how many.
That's why you need to answer the question of how these people got there.
Yeah, no, they're
like
they said experiments or something like that.
Yeah, she said humans created it.
Yeah, like
but
they
how
cloned
far?
them, but they couldn't clone the soul. But how? Not how, but like why those people? How did they get those people DNA?
That's another interesting thought, though. Born without a soul, but yet she created her soul. She was born without.
Well,
a
they
soul.
said they share a soul.
Oh.
She said, a soul split.
Oh. Huh?
Or like whatever terminology she used.
It's a little complicated because if they're clones, then does that mean that if I'm cloned right now, part of my soul goes into that clone just automatically? Like God just like, oh
No.
shit, copy paste.
That's not what that means in real world.
Well,
In the movie, yeah, I guess.
There also might be some religious elements to it. I mean, she was talking about God bringing them together and stuff. So, I mean, I'm not religious at all.
Yeah.
And there was that whole, like, Leviathans. Is that how you say it? I'm not religious. I don't know anything
you gotta
about the Bible.
remember, the girl saying that was the real human, not the shadow person. She said God brought us together.
Yeah, I know. But there was that guy who had the sign with Leviathans, whatever. And he was there waiting with his hands bloody when the kid was on the beach before any of the people started coming. You're not even listening to me.
I am listening to you. The people coming.
So, like, he knew he was there alone, waiting. He wasn't in a jumpsuit. He was there bleeding, whatever.
Well, he was. He just had a coat on. Because he was the one that came up and killed the guy, the original guy who was holding the sign.
Yeah.
That was the same guy, just the negative version.
Oh, yeah, he was wearing a jumpsuit on the beach.
Yeah.
But he was, like, the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the guy that they saw in the ambulance.
Yeah.
That was the real
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's very interesting
I thought
because
that
she was
was cool.
triggered when she saw 1111.
Yeah.
She's like, they're coming back.
I don't think that's what it was.
I honestly also just...
Uh-oh.
I really loved that cast, too. BT dubs.
Jordan Peele's
Oh, yeah.
Us. What does the Bible passage, Jeremiah 11:11
Oh,
say?
don't do this now. We have to have, like, a post show where we talk about it. We're going to spend the entire show talking about what you read online. No one wants to hear that. They can just look it
I
up
just
online.
want to know what that passage is.
Okay,
Therefore,
all right.
thus said the Lord, because it's in capital letters, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. Hearken.
Okay.
Okay. I want to say it just has to do with, like, weird government shit or something, because the
Yeah,
very,
that's
very,
kinda what I
very
was-
opening said they're,
Yeah.
like, this amount of tunnels. No one knows what they're for.
Yeah, I was getting weird government vibes in the middle. I guess when they started like revealing stuff,
Yeah.
I was like, "Ooh, did they like come up?"
Why
to,
the rabbits?
Is this about to be like a Trump movie where they claim that the Republicans brought up all these shadow people to vote for Trump?
Russian bots. They're all just Russian. They're all just Russian bots. That's what they are. They're clones. We're all thinking like AI and shit. It's real people.
Anyway,
What's the opening to the Twilight Zone?
I don't know.
How's it go, Remy? You should know it. Welcome to the Twilight Zone.
It's
We're
like
chilling.
the regular zone. We're just chilling in the Twilight Zone.
I knew that was coming. I swear to you, I knew. I was waiting. I don't know off the top of my head.
I was
but
thinking the words, like what the...
yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I will say, I don't know how much longer we want to talk about Jordan Peele, but I loved,
No,
I
that
saw
doesn't matter.
something online that someone said, he's the next Hitchcock, he's the next this, he's the next this, and someone said, well, no, he's the first Jordan Peele. And I
Yeah.
was like, you fucking tell him, baby. Like,
Yes.
he's doing his thing.
Yes and no.
He's just making good
You can
horror
still-
movies. You don't have to compare him to anyone.
I think it's depending on how it's said, it can be an appreciation too. Because there's genres, you know, they come from a genre. I think they're talking about a genre, but you can...
I understand, but no one is saying that about other filmmakers who make other things that are like other things.
I
It's
think
just
And
because he's making
also,
scary movies.
I think you go, oh,
that are
fuck,
good.
I haven't felt like this since I saw a Hitchcock. And then you're like, then you ignore it and you're just like, Jordan Peele is his own thing. But you go,
No, I understand what you're saying, but I don't name the last person who directed or wrote something that someone said, that's like this. Like when John Krasinski made, what was that movie?
A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place. No one said, oh, wow, this is his first movie. It was really reminiscent of this, the way he did this and captured it. There's nothing really similar about Jordan Peele's movies except for the fact that, like, they're scary and good.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
yeah.
I don't understand the need to constantly compare things
I
to other
absolutely
things.
agree. I think we should just let people do themselves.
Right,
Just be like, yeah, I'm not trying to be Hitchcock here. I'm just trying to make a movie.
right.
And also, he's only had 2 movies, so let's give him a couple more before we compare him to like, oh, he's had all of his movies are great. He's like Hitchcock in that fashion. He's
Right.
had 2 that
Right.
were good.
Right.
I think this
It's
is...
not-
like when white girls look at me and they say, you look like Lady Gaga. And it's like, why? Because I have a nose
Yeah.
and my eyes aren't tiny? You don't need to compare me to another human being because we have a tiny maybe
I
resemblance.
think you're overanalyzing it.
I overanalyze everything. That's who
Isn't
I
that
am
the
as a
point of
person.
this?
Well, yeah, you're correct. I don't know. The comparison
'Cause, like,
thing.
people did that with Shyamalan when he did The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable and
Yeah, and he
Signs or
made
whatever,
his own
and-
way.
Yeah, I know. But then they're like, oh, he's so great. And then like slowly his movies started getting shittier and shittier.
Yeah, Airbender came out. And we were
Yeah,
like,
so let's
"Ugh."
like, and then they're getting better now. But, you know, it's like after 2 movies, it's a little early to start comparing people to being the greatest filmmakers of all time, in my opinion. Not that he's bad.
What if
He's
he
good.
dies?
I don't know. I
And
don't
then he has
think
only
I've
those
heard
2 movies.
him-
He could be the great 2 movies. He's the best ever.
I don't know
Sure.
if I've heard anyone say he's the greatest filmmaker of
Well,
all time.
I'm just exaggerating.
Yes, for the sake of the
artistic
argument. I understand.
purpose. But,
Yeah.
Understood.
you know,
But anyway, Captive State was just okay.
yeah, that was like
How
the
was John
most
Goodman?
okay. He was John
Good.
Goodman.
He acted how it need to be acted.
Did they play at all into what was it, 10 Cloverfield Lane? They have like the monsters and stuff. The way
Yeah.
that the preview
That's what I never got to.
the way that the preview was shown to me, it seemed like they were either kind of like spinning off of that or trying to
It
be like,
had-
you remember this
It
movie?
did have vibes of 10 Cloverfield Lane.
but
in a
none
way,
of the same
but
people
I
were
didn't-
involved
I
except for
No.
John
didn't
Goodman.
even,
Okay.
I didn't even think about it being.
I did only because I was like, oh, aliens and John Goodman.
I let
Almost
that.
said John
I
Krasinski.
let that be separated. That's what I was gonna say earlier about showing the monster. They showed the aliens
right away.
There was a lot more to the aliens, but the way they did it was, I thought, perfectly fine.
Yeah, I
wasn't
thought it
just,
was good.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, here's the aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, but
There was more to. They showed the aliens. They did their thing a little bit, and then you're just like, oh shit. And then they
they
kept
were still
adding.
mysterious.
They kept
enough.
they kept adding more and more things that kept them just that much more mysterious.
And then there were different levels of the aliens.
Sorry, I keep smacking my leg. I didn't.
Like the
I don't think I.
aliens.
Sorry, I interrupted you. What'd
Yeah,
say?
you did.
I've been
That's
smacking
rude.
my leg, and I'm trying to stop.
Stop hiling Hitler.
Oh,
we're
no.
not. We're not that type of podcast.
I don't even know if the video podcast is working, so you might not even see it.
No, thank God.
Yeah.
The captive state was okay. I don't know why it says 0 kilobytes.
Yeah, I don't know either. But anyway, so what else? What else did everyone watch? I watched Little Italy.
Boom, boom. Oh.
We can talk about that first.
Oh, this fucking
Yeah,
good.
you watch it at 6
Yeah, I watched
a.m. in the
it-
morning.
7.
Well, you don't
Oh,
have to
so-
say it in the morning.
You
if
always
say
do
AM.
the most normal shit at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, because
Stop
I'm
saying
awake.
AM in the morning. AM means morning. You don't have to say AM in the morning. If you say 6 AM, we know it's in the morning.
But how will you know that it's in the morning?
Then say 6 in the morning.
Yeah, 6 a.m. in the morning.
You're, what a pet peeve. Anyway, go ahead.
It's for emphasis.
It's just
No.
redundant. But say it was really good. I watched it at 7 this morning.
Not
Thank you
6
very much.
AM in
Not
the morning.
6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, okay, 7 a.m. in the morning.
So I don't know. I thought it was good. It was a pretty standard rom-com. Probably my favorite one.
When is it from?
When is it from? Last year.
Oh, it's
So
new.
it's about Little Italy.
in New York?
See, that's what you would think, isn't it?
Or is it in Chicago?
That's maybe Chicago would be your second guess.
Philly?
No.
California.
You're thinking way too south. It's in Toronto.
Oh. Okay.
So it opens. It doesn't tell you it's in Toronto until like 20 minutes into the movie.
Okay.
Emma Roberts is in London.
Okay.
After a short montage of Hayden Christensen and Emma Roberts as youths,
Okay.
growing up in Little Italy, playing soccer and whatever,
Okay.
working at their family's pizza shop.
Okay.
So then it cuts to her in London as a chef in training, I suppose.
Well,
Okay.
we're recording video now, but go on.
She's the best chef in her class.
Of course.
The teacher chef,
And she's pretty.
and she's very pretty. And her teacher chef is Jane Seymour, which I was like, okay. So she has to go back.
Who's Jane Seymour? Why do I know that
She's
name?
in Wedding Crashers. I don't know what she actually does. She's an actress.
Aren't they all?
I just know that
That's
name.
true.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
You would
So,
know her if you saw
she's
her.
the best in class.
She's the best in
pretty.
class. So Jane Seymour says, "I'm opening a new restaurant.
Okay.
The menu is going to be either from you, Emma Roberts, or this other dweeb. So you give me
Who's not pretty.
Well, it's just like some guy.
Oh. Who's not at
who's
all
not
attractive.
pretty at all. Well, maybe, but that's irrelevant. He's in it for that scene, and that's it. So
Okay.
she has to go back to Toronto to get her education visa switched from school to work. So, you're just thinking she's from New York or Chicago or something the whole time, and then Jane Seymour's like, "You got to go back to Canada," and I was like, "Was she just saying that because she doesn't know, because she like doesn't know enough about her because she's, from America?" So she's just like toying with her, like, "I know you're from New York, but I'm going to say Canada to demean you."
Yeah.
No, she goes to Canada, and then they drill it into your head that they're in Toronto. Every scene has at least 3 either Blue Jays or just Toronto signs. It was absurd.
Are any of those actors or actresses from Canada?
I have no idea, but the production company was based in Canada, and I'm not convinced that it isn't a money front
Gotcha.
for something. It just
Just
seemed
a movie for laundering?
it seemed like
It's
a Hallmark
commercial
movie.
for Toronto.
Yeah, it just seemed like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
But
It was
it
like when
had a
they
wide
made-
release in Canada.
It was like when they made that fake movie preview to like go visit Australia.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like
It
that,
was
but a whole
exactly
movie.
like that, but a whole movie. And
About
Go to
it was
Toronto.
Little Italy.
it was funny in times. Sometimes I laughed because it was just ridiculous.
How's Hayden Christensen?
Oh, he had the worst Italian, like New York.
But they're
Italian.
in Toronto.
I know.
Toronto!
That's what I'm saying. Like you hear Hayden Christensen's voice, you're like, oh, he's from the fucking Brooklyn or something.
The
or,
Brooklyn.
Or I was gonna say the Bronx, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
One of the 5 boroughs. But no, it's Toronto. He's just like he sounds like Al Pacino in like any movie that Al Pacino's in.
Oh, God.
And then I don't know, it was just absurd, but it was funny. So their families, Hayden Christensen and Emma Roberts, their dads were the one pizza shop, and then they had a fight, so now they're in 2 pizza shops that are next to each other. So I was like, first of all, move somewhere else, so you're not. It's just bad business practice to open up right next to another pizza shop. But so then they wouldn't want Hayden Christensen and Emma Roberts to date. It's a whole
Star-crossed
fucking
lovers.
thing. It's like Romeo and Juliet, and they even reference Romeo and Juliet.
But with pizza.
Yeah, it just fills all the cliches, like almost in order. And then, like, you know, like an hour into it, they're like, oh shit, we forgot the gay best friend. So they give Hayden Christensen a gay best friend.
Nice. Was he black?
No, he was Chinese.
Oh, a different minority.
Yeah, it was something. I recommend it, but only in the sense that it was bizarre to watch.
Okay.
Huh? That's
It was
kind
fun.
of why I watch Riverdale.
Yeah, it was like that. It was fun.
You're
I
just
liked
like, there's no reason to be watching this, but it's
Yeah.
kind of like a soap opera, and it's crazy to watch.
Opera.
Stroke
I
opera.
started watching Miracle Workers, and I started watching A.D. Bryant's show Shrill.
What's
You know
that?
what? I kind of wanted to start watching that, but then I was just like, I'm not a girl, so I don't know if I'll get it.
I really like it. I posted on my Instagram. You probably saw it, but I said that it's what girls, I think, wanted to be and should have been.
the
and-
showgirls.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just focused on this average fucking person, man, and she's just doing her thing. And like, there's a whole scene where they compare shit to pudding, and if you wax your asshole, it's like a clean countertop. So when you put pudding on the countertop, it wipes right off instead of putting pudding in the grass. Because A.D. Bryan was scared to wear thongs, and these strippers were like, think of pudding. And they started talking about pudding and waxing your asshole, and I was like, damn.
So let me ask you this: I didn't see the show.
You
but
got your ass waxed?
I saw a review that was like Shrill is how fat women should be portrayed, and then I saw a trailer for it, and I was like, I feel like this has nothing to do with her being fat.
Oh, yeah.
That's just like the first episode. So in the first episode, she talks about how she never thought that she would find love and be accepted because of the way she looks. So she thought she had to be this really like submissive, nice, kind person. So at least she had that. At least she was nice. And then it changes. It happens. Something happens. I'm not going to give anything away, but something happens and she's like, I'm a fucking bitch now. Like, I'm going to be who I am. And
that's how
it
I
kind of
thought it would
progresses.
be.
It progresses from there. So
Yeah.
it switches
That
in the
makes
first
sense.
episode.
Then that
and
review is full of shit.
yeah. And when I talk about girls, it's not just because Lena Dunham is chubby. That's not why I'm comparing it. But I don't know if you've seen Girls. A lot of it has to do with this is who I am and I'm not going to pretend to be something I'm not, and this is my body and this is what it looks like and blah blah blah. And A.D. Bryant kind of does the
Sells
same.
that better.
Yeah, and it's like
I watched the first season of Girls and I felt like they really hammered it home.
Yeah.
Like, just be yourself, dude.
honestly
Okay,
I
I'm going to.
watched
Yeah.
Girls because I loved the character Shoshana. I loved
Yeah.
her. Shosh,
The-
so cute, and I loved Adam Driver. What a good character.
I feel like those sort of shows are meant for people who don't have any confidence in themselves, which is a lot of people. But it's just like, I don't need to watch a show to prove to me that I have to like myself for who I am.
well, I mean, there's more that happens in Girls. There's, drama
but
and,
yeah, like
in
you said, it wasn't
relationships and things like that.
executed.
Yeah, but Shrill, I mean, I've only seen 2 episodes because I had to go to work, but I really liked it. I really like the flow. I like that it's serious and funny. I really like A.D. Bryant. I think she's
I like
great.
A.D. Bryant, yeah.
And the girl from Miracle Workers, Rosie, is her best friend.
Oh, she's in it too?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Rosie is the assistant? God's assistant?
Yeah, with the
Okay.
British accent.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So she plays A.D. Bryant's best friend, who's like a lesbian hairdresser.
Huh.
Who she lives with?
It's always a gay best friend.
Always a gay best friend.
Miracle Workers, I have a love-hate relationship with because it's written well, and sometimes I'll be like, oh, this is nice, but then I'll be bored through the episode. I'll have to look back and be like, that was a good episode. But watching the episode, I'm just like,
That's
Well,
like me
it's
listening to
a
this podcast.
Simon Rich.
bitch!
It's a Simon Rich book. So I think it probably is a better book. It probably didn't translate 100% into being a show, and I hate being one of those people.
Also,
that's like,
why
the book
does
is always better than the movie. but,
Daniel
like,
Radcliffe always looks so tired.
Maybe he is.
he's
Tired of getting all that pussy from Harry Potter money.
Bro, his
Bro
eyes,
is rich as fuck.
His eyes are so purple. He's just so English. It rains and he's like those lizards you can see through and shit. He's just so pale.
I don't understand why women love British men so much. I was talking to a girl at work the other day, Maria, this girl at work, and she was talking about how much she loved James McAvoy, and I was like, yeah, he's like really the only one of like the UK
I feel
that
like
I'm
he's
like,
aged
yeah.
a lot. And
James McAvoy?
yeah, if you see,
Yeah, but he looked good though. You see those calves?
no, I can't say I've looked at his calves.
Did you not watch the SNL?
Oh yeah.
He like
does
displays
have
his
some
calves,
dope
and as soon as he walked out in his kilt, I was like, ooh.
Honestly, I
Don't they make a joke out of it too?
Yeah.
Or his whole skit even.
I forgot.
It's okay. But anyway, I don't understand the whole like he's British. They just look like ghost people. Everyone from England looks like a Victorian
Looks like we're
ghost.
not going to get any British fans,
there
black
are
fans,
listen.
Chinese fans.
Prince Harry is cute.
I feel like if you're gonna be into British guys, you might as well just be into Australian guys because it's the same guys but more tan. And
Australian guys are
And they've
better
lived through
looking,
death.
tan, dangerous.
Yeah.
I would hope because they live with
Know
like
about
tons
enlightenment
of
in the
They
next
live in
life.
Australia.
yeah. Every
And
day's
where
a battle.
everything can kill you.
Yeah.
They're
Anyway.
fully enlightened.
In the next life.
And the dingo always eats their babies.
Unbelievable.
From what I hear.
I like Miracle Workers. I really like Simon Rich, and I like
Yeah.
the things he makes. I want to read the book though, because once I read the book Man Seeking Woman is not the name of it. I think it's called something else. I have it over there, but the show has a different title than the book.
Dating in America.
But I loved the book. And like I said, one of
Yeah.
my favorite short stories is in that book that they never put in the show, so I'd be curious to read the book and see.
Interesting.
Sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
You said that kind of sarcastically. I thought it was
No, I was just that interesting was more about me trying to think about what the next thought I should talk about is.
cool. That makes me feel good.
No,
What
I
else?
just don't want the traction, the momentum of the podcast to come to a screeching halt because I'm a dummy.
Well, what else did that guy do besides not Man Seeking Woman and Miracle Workers?
Well, I don't know.
Oh,
I just
okay.
know that I read that book, and it's a book of short stories. So they
Yeah.
turned his short stories, like that whole thing with Jay Baruchel or whatever, like the whole main story doesn't happen in the book. It's literally just a bunch of short stories.
Yeah.
So they kind of just like used them.
You know.
So
No,
I don't know
well-
what else he does.
Well, when you said you like everything he does, I kind of, I don't know. If
I
it
just put all
implies
those
it.
short stories
yeah, it just
as
seemed like you
multiple
meant
things
more
to
than
me.
two things. But,
I'm sorry.
yeah. No, that's fine.
But can we talk about the Oscar-worthy Not Another Teen movie?
I
think it
can't believe you
got
didn't
Oscars.
remember anything about that movie.
I forgot.
That
Like I said, I don't think I
movie-
saw that whole movie ever. I
That
think I saw
movie
bits
was
and pieces.
burned into my brain, man.
I only ever saw it on cable, so I missed all the.
Bro,
like,
there was
fuck
so many tits in that
I
movie.
know, like the only like the nudist foreign exchange girl
Yeah.
that I always thought I only ever saw it on TV, so it was always blurred. So I was like, oh, maybe that's just a funny part of the movie that they're
It
blurred. That
was.
this girl just walks around blurred.
There's tons of
Nope.
tits. The girl's
too.
teeth were bad. It took me until they actually took her glasses off. I was like, oh, she's cute. And then they took her glasses off and I saw her teeth. I was like, oh.
All the big hair. So much big hair.
Small chins. A lot of them had small, skinny white women with no chins.
A lot of
Yeah.
incest,
Got 5
Oh my God.
nominations.
which even Chris Evans says, what's wrong with this family?
None of them Oscars.
Chris Evans. What? So many roles.
What a man.
What a man.
He's my favorite Chris.
What a. How
He's
about
becoming mine.
the one he did where he stole the SAT scores with Scarlett Johansson?
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
ever see that one? I forget what it was called, but
Was that Losers?
no, I don't
I
think it
don't
was
know
called
what you're
Losers.
talking about.
There's a movie where Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans are like in high school because up until you're about 35, you're in high school in Hollywood, depending on how you look, I guess. I'd be 40.
Well, with that hairline.
Yeah, no, exactly. But no, they like sneak into it's them and a couple other people from the early 2000s. They sneak into an office where they steal the SAT answers, but then apparently, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this fucking movie that I don't know the title to, they steal the answers, but they can't like copy it or whatever. They just get the questions, so they spend like the whole night solving it together and actually learning and stuff like that. But anyway, that was another one of those random like, who? And
You
then
know, one time I stole the answers to a test, and it was nothing like any of the movies make it out to be.
You just walked into the teacher's office and said, "Can I have the answers?"
No, I was taking a test in the, because I forget why, but I had to take it at a different time.
And then you pulled out your gun and said, "Give me the answers."
No.
Interesting.
I guess technically I didn't steal the answers, but I
What?
I took pictures of the test and sold them to my roommate so he could win.
That did you told me the other day he used to sell homework?
Yeah, dude, I used to sell my homework in middle school. Gotta make that money.
I paid
Gotta
someone
make
$5
that lunch
for
money.
homework once
Yeah, dude, I got
because
like
I didn't do it.
$1.
I had an AP Psych. I
thought that was just in the
those
movies.
answers.
My
See, I
whole
didn't-
life,
I-
who actually would do that?
Well, you didn't go to school, so what do you know?
I don't know. You're
See,
right.
I was a pretty chill dude. I was just like, give me $1. I just
$5. I
yeah, you
think I
should have
got
came to me.
gypped.
You
You
should have
fucked up.
come to me, Remy.
Yeah, he's cornering the market, and nobody knows.
What's
about
crazy
it.
is I
Pretty
also
easy
bought
guy.
pills in high school for the same price. So get your
Oh.
homework, get your fucking Xanax.
Homework is worth the same as Xanax.
I was already
guess.
on all the drugs, so I was taken care of.
I never got offered drugs. I never did. Until Greg did one time, and I was like, what?
Huh?
I'm 23 years old now, Greg. I don't want your drugs.
Oh, you never got offered drugs. I missed the word offered. No one. What?
No one offered me drugs.
That's unbelievable. That's not true.
It's absolutely true. Even my best friends who all
What
became
was
stoners
Andrew? What was it
never
like
offered
not
to me.
having friends growing up?
It was pretty
Don't
lonely.
say that because I offer you my weed almost every day.
Now,
Yeah, now. Not in high. I'm talking about high
you
school.
didn't know him in high school, unless you did. Are you
No,
a
you
shadow
didn't.
person?
No. But I went through like at least 10 friends that all just like went on to big potheads.
They didn't want to peer pressure you, man. You should be
No,
thankful.
I'm not like worried
Yeah,
about
good
it.
on
I'm just
them.
saying. It's
May
just
they
weird.
rest
All
in
the-
peace.
Like every movie makes it out to be that no matter what you do, you're gonna get peer pressured into drugs.
No.
And I was like, I didn't have that experience.
When I was watching My Friend Dahmer, the kid from the movie Blockers with the long
Yeah.
hair, the guy they call Chef, he's in it, and he's like trying to sell weed to Jeffrey Dahmer. It was a really, like, I felt awkward. I was like,
Yeah.
get out of there, man.
It was weird.
Go.
I
It was
always
a weird
wondered.
movie.
Even now, I wonder how people get their weed, like illegal weed. Just like, how do you just know someone?
You just know someone.
Exactly. I've never met that person. I've never even. I
You know, I'm not going to name names because I don't know who's listening. What if the cops are
It's
listening?
definitely
Boop,
the
boop.
Russian bots.
The shadow people. You know one person who sells weed specifically to my dad.
Well, now I do, but it took most of my entire life.
That's because you had 6 friends and all of them were
Not true.
dweebs.
Not true.
Okay, you had 4 friends and all
Not
of them
true.
were
I knew other
dweebs.
people.
You
I
knew
knew
other
other
people, but
people,
you
but
didn't
you
know,
know
but you didn't know enough about them.
See,
to know
he's
if
too
they had weed
insecure.
or not.
He just said I had no friends growing up, and I ran with it. You say he has 6 or 4, and he's denial.
Huh?
You just asked me what it was like to grow up with no friends.
Yeah,
and
it was
I
a
said
joke.
it was fine. Yeah, it was a joke. It was a funny joke. But she comes at you about the same thing, basically, giving you more friends than I had. And you say,
I had
no,
nothing
no,
to say
no.
about your friends.
No,
'cause
I know.
didn't
I'm not
know.
coming at you. I'm coming at him.
Okay, good.
I just started watching an anime called No Game No
Yeah,
Life.
change the
Speaking
subject.
of anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah, Remi put on not only an anime, but like a hardcore like weeaboo anime subtitled. She was listening to a Japanese voiced acted anime about men who fight each other with colorful hair.
Well, what else
In
is
the
anime
name-
about?
In the name of the JoJo Siwa cult.
I don't know anything about it. I've only seen 2 episodes. I'm probably going to keep watching it just because I started it, and why not? But
That's true.
anyway, talk about your anime that you actually watched and know about.
I'm only about 6 episodes in, but it's called No Game No Life. It's been out for a while. Too late to review situation, but it's an interesting concept. So, a couple of fucking losers. It's this guy and his sister are huge gamers. They only game. They're NEETs is what they're called in Japan. Not employed, educated, or trained.
Same.
Same.
I'm employed, but none of the other
Andrew is
things.
not a NEET,
I'm none of those things.
so
I'm a not
he's a nega NEET,
Nega newt.
a teen.
a teen. But anyway, so that's their whole life is just playing games, not just one type of game, all games, and they're amazing at it. And one night they get an invite from a god to play a game of chess, and they beat him. And he's just like, fuck, I've never lost a game. He's just
so it's like the devil went down to Georgia, but with God and chess instead of a violin.
Or like Tribute by Tenacious D.
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know. So then the god's just like,
They beat God at his own game.
yeah, and chess. It's not even his game. God was, of all the games,
Maybe God created chess in this universe.
maybe, but he's just like, do you want to live in a world that's just about games? And they're just like, yeah. So they get transported and they're falling through the sky, and God is obviously a little fucking anime kid, and he's just like, in this world we solve everything by playing games. There's no murder, no killing. Anything is solved by playing a game. If someone's just like, as long as everybody agrees to the terms of the game, it's acceptable. So fucking, like, they land and they're just in this world, and some guys are just like, give us all your shit, and they're just like, you gotta play us for it. And then they're just like, all right, what do you give up? And they're like, our lives. And I forget, they played just a game of rock paper scissors, but with like, they were only allowed to land with scissors or some like weird
I'm uninterested.
Same.
whatever.
You can keep watching it and give us updates, but I'm never going to watch it.
Yeah.
The concept is interesting because the entire world, everything's solved by playing games. And
Yeah,
that,
but I don't need a whole series for that.
well, what happens, there's more to it, and I'm letting it drop, but there's like a bunch of different races and everything like that, and like the elves can use magic to win and
Oh,
cheat.
they're elves. I'm more not interested.
I don't think
than
they're
I was
elves,
before.
but like
Do they say it's time to duel?
they probably can, but they put a lot of interesting twists on old games like chess. The one episode they were playing chess, but the pieces are alive.
So like Harry Potter.
Even more so, the pieces are technically just soldiers, and also, and the lady they're playing against is just like, rook, do what you want, and then the rook just like walks up to another piece and like kills it, but it still has to take its turn, and then the guy's just like, if they're just real people, I'll just play it like it's an actual war. So he makes all the pieces like fall in love with each other and shit.
Because that's what happens in war. Everyone falls in love.
Well, he manipulated it. That was me dumbing it down. Anyway, I watched that. Fuck you guys. It's pretty interesting. Didn't want to give it... It's really colorful, and I didn't think it would be as interesting as what it was. And then I watched another anime that was just about a witch who comes to some town and just like, I'm your witch. And they're just like, okay. And then she eats pudding the whole fucking time because it's a slice of life anime. I was like, nope. So it's that or the other one.
I don't know. I still like what's her face's School Road.
Chio's School Road.
That's the one.
Where she beats up a biker and then is in charge of a biker gang for no reason.
Yeah.
And she's like 14.
Yeah. I'm into it.
And there's a game they play where they have to like pull each other's panties down or some shit.
Yeah, absolutely no thanks.
Whatever. Okay, you talk.
That just sounds lame to me. I don't care about games. Like that could be like a
Well,
1
looks
hour
like-
made for
looks-
TV movie.
Looks like you're just gonna have to give Kingdom Hearts back to me then. You're not a gamer anymore.
I never said I was a gamer. I like Kingdom Hearts because like what girl doesn't like Kingdom Hearts? But it goes a lot deeper than I'm not saying I don't care about like story. I play Kingdom Hearts for the story, not because I don't give a fuck about like the Disney characters. Like I like Disney, obviously, but I'm not one of those girls who's like, take me to the Magic Kingdom for my honeymoon and like wants fucking like Disney inspired engagement rings, and like I'm not like one of those weirdos who has like a little mermaid mug or some shit. I like the story of Kingdom Hearts. That's why I like it. So if I don't care about the story, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't care about people playing games. Sorry.
Is there a Star Wars level in the new Kingdom Hearts?
I don't think
No.
so.
Okay.
I haven't played the new one yet.
Does he just like swallow? I heard like a frog sound. It was like, quite.
Pretty sure it was that one.
Really?
Yeah, he just like moved.
He's like, quite. Quite.
I mean, he makes
Sorry,
weird
damn.
noises. Stop moving so much. You're going to rip this off.
Yeah, I need to get extenders for all the headphones.
Anyway.
Anyway.
All but mine.
Oh yeah, you're all set there.
I really like all these Ant-Man going into Thanos' butt
how do
memes.
you like those?
Because
It's,
they're
first of all,
so
so old.
ridiculous.
That's so overdone.
They're just so ridiculous.
And they're not that ridiculous. Everything ends in Ant-Man going into Thanos' butt and expanding.
Yeah, but like the images that they use. And
But how do we know that's not how it's going to end?
We know.
we're pretty sure.
They could, the
If
Russo
that's
brothers
how Endgame ended,
can pull a
I
fast one
would
on the entire
burn
world.
all of my Marvel movies. That's dumb.
That's a lot of money.
Did you see that thing where they were paying people $1,000 to watch all the Marvel movies?
Oh, what? I could have got $1,000?
Look it up. Maybe there's still time.
I only got 5 left.
I could have got $1,000. Uh-oh, he's attacking Shrek. Oh, he's over it.
Well, you
He-
embarrassed him.
He bit his heart out, and then he decided no more.
So you have to binge watch them.
Fuck a Shrek. So there's this.
If you have more than 40 straight hours to kill, a company is offering you to watch every Marvel movie before Endgame.
You could do it. Just take some PTO.
Dude, leave me alone, please. Thank you.
General. Hey.
I don't know if that's
Lie down.
worth $1,000 to me.
You know it is worth $1,000?
What?
Putting 5 on it.
I mean, if I knew what that meant, I'd take $1,000 for it.
It's about drugs, Andrew.
But which ones?
Wait, can we talk about real quick? I know
Huh.
that no one listens to this, and I wish
Huh.
they did. You have to put it on Twitter or whatever the fuck you put this podcast on. Can we talk about how neither of you know the term "I'm washing my hair"? How have you
Alright,
never
so-
heard that?
I know what it means.
So obviously you've heard it, otherwise
Obviously,
you wouldn't
I've
have
heard
known
it,
what I meant.
But I don't think I've ever seen it in a movie, is what I mean.
It's
by-
literally under like movie tropes if you look it up, with so many examples.
Maybe it's because I'm a man who doesn't pay attention to that. So I hear it, I'm like,
It
okay.
sounds familiar, maybe, but yeah, I haven't heard it recently enough to be like, yeah, that's a thing.
Which is why I asked you for an example, because I'm sure if I heard an example, like if I saw a movie, or if I saw someone like do that, tell me which movie it was in and where, and play a clip, then I'd be like, oh yeah, obviously. But I don't know, just nothing comes to mind.
Okay, well, that seems outrageous to me.
Sorry, jeez.
Why did you just do that?
Because I was going to try and put that down there so that we had a little bit more headphone room, but then I remember the power cord doesn't go all the way over there, so I have to do some shopping later. It's going to be fun. I will say this is a dumb one also that you won't care about, but whatever. I watched that show Scold. It's like a spin-off of the Goldbergs, but it's in the 90s because, nostalgia. But the one episode, it's just one of those things I put on for noise. It's like listening to the radio. But the last episode, it was when episode 1
Why are you
came
doing
out.
this?
The last episode, episode 1.
Well, the last episode of the show School, they did the A story was about the nerds going to see Star Wars Episode 1 and all the hype for it. And then the gym teacher, who's Brian Callen, was just like, this is dumb. Give me the gym. I need it for sports. The one teacher's like, just come see it with us. You'll love it. And then they go see it. And they're like, wasn't that the most amazing thing ever? And then Brian Callen just breaks it down. He's just like, what were midichlorians? He's like, what? We'll just ignore that. The lightsaber battles. And he's just like, and how Anakin saved everybody at the end. He's like, well, he kind of just accidentally fell into the spaceship and kind of accidentally flew
I'm
it into.
both.
You're both. What?
I'm both.
Oh, yeah. You have to be both for that movie.
For all movies. For all movies, I'm both.
Can't be both for everything.
That's the cross I bear, man.
So you're both racist and not racist at the same time?
That's not a
No,
movie.
that's not a movie.
Well,
I'm
movies
talking
are
about
everything.
in terms of analyzing things. It's like
Yeah.
Andrew having two separate scales. You have your enjoyment scale and like your technicality scale. That's how I view every movie.
And then at the end of the episode, it was absolutely hilarious because obviously the coach learns that like Star Wars is the nerd teacher ruined baseball for him. He's just like, baseball, we need this for baseball because it's the American sport. It's the best thing ever. He's just like, yeah, but don't you need to like get up by the 7th inning because nothing happens so people don't get blood clots and die? He's like, no. She's like, isn't it, you wait most of the game for nothing to happen? He's like, No? So they both ruined Star Wars and baseball for each other. It was a decent episode. And then by the very end, Brian Callen, they put him in Darth Maul makeup, and he fights both the jocks and the nerds.
I
And
don't
like,
know who Brian Callen is.
he's a comedian.
What does he look like? Is he in anything
He's
else?
like an old white guy. He's been in a couple other things, but he's mostly a comedian.
Okay.
Anyway, he dresses him up as Darth Maul, and it's just like not like legit movie makeup is good, and he beats the shit out of all the nerds still. I mean, he still wins, but it was funny. It was cute. I was just like, oh yeah, episode 1. I remember liking it when I was a kid. Pod racing.
No, this is pod racing.
Still use that to this day.
Oh, it's that guy. Doesn't he have a new Netflix special?
Yeah, he has a new. I don't think it's on Netflix, but he does have a new comedy
Or a new
special out.
of some sort.
I think that's the
I
only.
can't scroll and it's upsetting me.
Yeah.
I need a different picture.
You have to like actually hit the fucking arrow.
Unbelievable.
I'm
I've never
Firefox.
seen that man before in my life.
That's your dad.
My dad looks absolutely nothing like that.
Yeah. Anyway, I watched that, and that episode's been kind of in the back of my brain because it was just kind of fun. It was a good episode. Yeah, that's it, really. Nothing else crazy. Normal TV shows that we've watched. I feel like you can't just review one episode every week. That's a snore fest. We watched an episode of Superstore. That was funny. Ha ha ha.
We can talk about, maybe we have to save it for the next one, but You're the Worst is ending. And those 2
Yeah.
episodes, that Paul F. Tompkins murder scene, what a good scene.
Yeah, no, we can talk about that. Andrew, binge watch all of the show You're the Worst, so we can talk about it next.
You saw the
podcast.
episode with Vernon and Paul's threesome.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's there not to like? You've seen as good as it gets.
Let's see how many episodes there are.
When I
to
say that,
do
I
in a
don't.
week.
I don't mean it. I love that show.
Obviously.
I love.
I think it's
like.
6
I love
seasons,
Gretchen.
but they're 22-minute like normal TV show episodes.
Like
it's
I
all
love
on Hulu.
her. There's a lot of sex scenes, so that's good for you. I guess I don't know.
Andrew's
10, 23, 36, 49. 49. Yeah.
49 what?
Episodes.
Oh. So it's 49 times 22 divided by 60.
I don't fucking know.
I binge watched the first like 2 or 3 seasons because you watched it without me, and you're like, you have to watch this, and I
Oh,
was
it was
like,
good.
okay, and then I did, and then now I love Gretchen. She's a real person to
Then
me.
she put 5 on it.
Jordan, I don't know if you know this, but you're a white man.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay.
I'm quitting the podcast.
Andrew, aren't you still on that yee juice?
No. What does that even mean?
Aren't you still
Andrew,
playing Red Dead?
Andrew, did you like my T-Ha meme?
I think so. I don't remember it.
It was a little cowboy hat on a straw in a
It
cup
said-
of tea.
It said
Oh, yeah.
T-Ha. It said you've teed your last ha or something like that. T-Ha. I don't know.
I'll still have it on here. Let me get a fresh view because I think I looked at it when I was.
What about the
Mm.
Stan Lee one I sent you about referencing all the
I
Ant-Man?
did chuckle at that one.
Yeah, that one was good.
Oh,
It was with the slow blinking guy.
I got way late
Yeah.
to this party, but I didn't even.
Dude, that's literally me when people start talking about Ant-Man bursting out of Thanos' butt.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
More like bursting into
Inside of.
you.
Well, not me, Thanos. Thanos? Thanos.
Thanos.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh shit! I was gonna talk about something and then I lost my train of thought.
Late to
Something
the
is a
party?
good word to have because when you don't know what it is, it's something.
It's all about it.
I guess we're going to have to save it for next time.
Fuck. I forget if it was a meme.
You said you're late to the party. I don't know. That could be anything.
Late to the party. What are you talking about?
You just said that. You said I'm probably late to the party, but and
Oh.
then
Thank you. Put me back on track.
Skirt.
Killing it. I saw Kevin Smith did like a little video on YouTube, and Stan Lee's cameo in Captain Marvel. He was reading the script to Mallrats.
Yeah.
I kept going, what is he saying? And he was saying his line from Mallrats. I didn't read the script. I just went, Stan Lee. I just went cameo, got it. But there was more to it, and that's why there was all the memes and like jokes about him crying. Like,
Oh, that's why the interview. I saw just a headline going through like whatever, and it said Kevin Smith tears up at Stan Lee cameo, and I'm like, okay,
yeah,
it's emotional,
yeah.
but like now that makes more sense.
It connected.
That thank you Stan at the beginning got me, dude.
Yeah,
I like went into that movie being emotional because of that.
Okay, final guesses. What do you think his cameo is going to be in Endgame?
There's no way of knowing that.
He's gonna be Thanos the whole time.
He takes off his mask like in Mission Impossible.
Excelsior!
Yeah, it's gonna be Scooby Doo.
We watched the
Thanos
live
is gonna
action.
say, "I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you pesky kids and your meddling raccoon."
Damn.
I think it's you meddling kids.
What the fuck ever?
What did he say?
Pesky.
Pesky kids.
It's definitely meddling, but it's fine.
It's
We'll let
definitely
it-
meddling,
it's
but
fine.
whatever. I was improvising.
Okay, Remy, what do you think is going to how do you think the cameo is going to go down?
I have no way of knowing.
It's a joke. It's a bit.
In the last one, he was on a train. In one of them, he's just like some fucking sugar daddy who's like overlooking the terrace. Like, I don't know. He could be a mailman. He could be a
He already was a mailman.
yeah. He could be anything. He could be a dog. I don't know.
I think they're going to show a scroll, like him turning into a scroll.
I don't
and then,
think so.
And then doing this.
I think you're wrong.
Obviously, it's a bit. Why are you guys like attacking me for just trying to like do something?
Because it's not funny. Do something funny. I didn't want to attack you.
I was hoping you could make it funny because I believed in you as someone who could make something funny, Andrew.
I did. I said Scooby-Doo.
Oh, and now you're just attacking me for doing a good job.
Yeah, because your idea was bad.
I gotta go. This is literally what it's like when Andrew is in his room yelling on video game stuff, and then you're yelling in our room about video game stuff, and I'm just sitting here trying to watch TV, and I hear Andrew going, "Ah!" and then I hear this is literally what he does, and then I have Jordan over here going,
That was actually-
fuck, shit, fuck, and then but then I can also hear it through your headphones because they're so loud, so not only do I hear the echo,
That was
I hear it
actually
in
really
real
good.
time.
You were in the right pitch for Andrew.
Yeah, I know. I hear it. I know what it sounds like. It's constant.
Well, constant.
Just trying to watch my fucking shows.
Can we talk about Apex Legends?
What is that?
Oh, it's so bad.
It's
I
a
don't
game
understand
that's
why
trying
everyone
to.
loves
Is that the
this.
one that Andrew screams about?
No.
We scream about all of our games, but no,
Yeah.
there's.
If you're going to talk about that, can I leave?
Yeah, you have any final words?
Put 5 on it.
I said that like I'm gonna kill you. Can I leave? Yep. Any final words, motherfucker?
I'm going to stay here just to listen.
It's just, it's just
That's
a.
how I
I'll move
play
this
Red Dead.
microphone so you don't hear
It's just a throwaway bit. But no, Apex Legends is a game that's kind of a battle royale that's sort of competing with Fortnite. It's an open world. A bunch of teenagers jump in and attack each other.
Oh, so it's like a new one.
It's a newer
Yeah.
one that's by an actual, not that the other ones aren't actual developers, but like
It's not
developers.
just some guy.
Well, Fortnite, it wasn't just some guy, but it was a lot. It was a. who
It's
did
by
Fortnite?
like an established already studio.
Yeah, that
Okay.
did bigger like AAA games.
Yeah.
But anyway, it sucks.
Oh, the worst.
I'm sure a lot of people love it, but also
Well,
like
obviously a lot of people love it.
it wasn't. I did not like it.
I didn't like it at all. I didn't like anything about it.
No.
The limitation of having 3 on a team, so you can only play with 2 of your friends.
Yeah,
God
that's
forbid you're playing
dumb.
with 5 friends
Yeah.
before that.
Also,
I don't think most gamers have 5 friends.
you'd be surprised. There's a lot of like
That was
Yeah.
that was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
real
A
world.
tasteless joke.
Yeah. Sorry, I went right past it. You're okay though. But yeah, no, that's dumb. Out of the multiple matches we played, I couldn't find a gun.
Yeah, I found
Huh?
more level 1 helmets
I kept
than
finding
I
ninja
ever
stars.
found a gun.
Like, am I just not? I didn't really take a whole lot of time to memorize the map, but yeah, no, didn't have fun. No thanks. Apex Legends, bye
I
bye.
got 1 kill the entire time.
I got 2. The first match I played, and it was all melee. That's the only thing I will say. Compared to Blackout, I could punch people, and it did something.
Nice.
In Blackout, you're just like, it's like this. It wasn't like
You hit me harder than that.
yeah, it was like Us when she's just standing there and she kicks her and you get they did the cartoon. It's like poof. It was just like that's what Blackout is. But anyway, so yeah, that's really. And then you started playing Rust, and Tom's dick was out the whole time you played.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
What?
So in Rust, you start out as a naked person.
Rust is
And
like
they have like everything's there. There's vaginas and penises and tits.
Everything?
And butts.
Can you be a wolf person too?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh,
Played for 2 hours.
like I'm excited. Like
And we were just standing in Tom's hut the whole time.
Yeah, I don't
With
know.
his dick
boring.
out.
Yeah. And
You
Steven had his dick out.
But they
And
had
I was a girl,
but
so
they
I
had-
was just standing there next
Do
to
you
two
choose-
grown men.
did you
No,
choose
it's
to be a woman?
It's totally random.
Oh, okay.
But also, when I came in, they were all wearing like chest armor
Yeah.
and helmets,
but no
they're-
pants.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
they
by
wouldn't
the
even
time,
boot it.
By the time I was done, Tom did find a pair of pants.
Did he
So-
choose
Oh,
not to
great.
wear them, or did he
No,
wear
he
them?
wore 'em.
Okay.
I thought he's been playing for over 1,000 hours.
So apparently, that's what I said. Apparently, the server resets every couple weeks, and it wipes everything, so you have to start over.
That's
Why
fucked.
would you do that?
I
Why
don't
would you
know.
play a game that does that?
Get
Oh.
a different experience every
yeah,
time. I
that's
guess.
the idea. You literally start with it's a game where it's just like if you
Yeah.
started with nothing, if the apocalypse happened and your clothes were gone, you have to scrounge,
Yeah.
scavenge. It's probably a
Yeah.
better word for everything. Super survival,
Yeah.
and then your dick's just out.
I wish we had more time. I would talk about that movie Into the Woods with Evan Rachel Wood and Ellen Page. What a good movie.
Yeah.
You guys saw a little bit of it.
We
the
saw
whole
all of
thing.
it.
Oh, I thought you guys like left and came back.
We were there. We were planning on it. I think you started it, and we were just like, huh. And then we started watching. We were like, oh. And then I think the rape scene happened, and then we were just like, fuck, we're in this now.
What a you missed the father dying. That's what.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what
you
missed.
you walked out for. a
Yeah,
couple
but Andrew
minutes.
was there. Yeah. Anyway,
I think I had to
what a good movie.
dump or something.
Yeah.
What?
I had to dump.
Or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't even talk about cutting your thumb off.
Nobody can see fucking the halfway through video that I have to put like just pictures of us on the couch so that there's something for the first half of the video. Yeah, I chopped off the top of my thumb and now I'm
Use this as your platform to sue Amazon for their shipping methods and
It
the
had
emotional
nothing to do
scarring
with
they've
it.
caused.
it was my
You
own
can't-
fault. I wasn't
you
paying
can't-
attention. I
You
just stuck my hand-
cannot pack a blade in a box with no other packaging. Like, they literally just put a blade in a box.
It was a bunch of different pieces. It was the spiralizer.
I mean, sorry, you should have maybe opened the box differently and not just reached your hand
it was
in.
wide open.
But
it was a shallow box.
anyway,
I
but
wasn't paying
I
attention.
feel like it should have been packaged differently. Like, what if I ordered like a set of knives and they just put all the knives in the box separate from the shit that
it was
holds all
amazing
the
how much
knives?
What
blood
if
there
I
was.
ordered a gun that was loaded, and I went to pick up the box and shot myself in the head?
I wish.
Whoa.
Same.
Like I said, there was so much blood. It probably would have been less blood if I slit my wrist. There was a lot. It's crazy. You think?
Does anyone care about what's that show with Hannah Baker and the guy from Wallows? 13 Reasons Why. Does anyone care about that show anymore?
I was thinking about that because the Wallows just came out with their new album. And I was just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah.
That
no.
show.
I was just thinking about if I wanted to watch season 2.
Honestly,
Really? Didn't watch
Don't.
season 2?
No,
Just watch it.
that's what I was thinking.
Just watch it.
I might just watch it because I don't really.
it was
care.
okay, but I kind of don't care anymore.
It's been too long.
Like, at
In
the
this
end
culture,
of
it's been too long.
At the end of season 1, they started the like school shooting subplot, and I was like, I want to watch that, but apparently that didn't even happen.
It
so.
doesn't.
It
It
Keeps going. Yeah.
yeah. There's it. You're not. Anyway,
Yeah, which is why I didn't watch the second season because like, well, I don't care about anything
I mean
else.
they reference like it. There's stuff, but I don't want to give anything away if you're gonna watch.
All
it,
I'm
but
saying is I probably lost just as much blood as that bitch did in that tub, and I'm still here.
that was a really hard scene to watch.
Oh, absolutely. And I just
When
made a joke about
we
it.
were living in the old apartment, and I remember like binge watching it, and you were sleeping next to me, and I literally had to like get up and go outside and cry and like smoke a cigarette. Partially because I had just lost a friend to suicide and I was like extra emotional. He didn't do it that way, but it just like hit me in a place, and like the way the mom holds her, like that was a really good scene.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, but I'm fine. I'm still here. Most of me. The other part's down the garbage disposal.
So you're saying these aren't your tapes?
No, these.
I remember when we used to do that all the time.
Welcome to your tape.
I did that when I first
Every
started
time
my
anyone,
last job.
like-
I did that.
Yeah, every time any one of us did anything, it was just welcome to your tape.
Welcome to your tape, motherfucker. Yeah. I chopped
Ew.
my thumb off, so.
Well, it's not the whole thumb. It's just a scoop of the top.
I'll tell you what, I really want to start using my left hand to do stuff, because even with in the past couple of days brushing my teeth with my left hand, I'm like, okay. At first, it was like trying to do laser eye surgery for the first time. I was just like, well, that guy be blind, because I was shaking. I had to give up halfway through brushing my teeth because I was like, this is not going to fucking happen.
That's like me when I work out.
But here's the thing, you just got to do it, because like 2 days in, I'm just like, oh, never mind, got it.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Are you
I'll
the
write with my
Zodiac
left
killer?
hand.
Because you're ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous.
Do I look
Ambidextrous.
like Ted Cruz?
Ted Cruz does not match the physical descriptions of the Zodiac killer. I don't know who started that.
I feel like it was Donald Trump.
Maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know for sure. But
Well, anyway, what are you looking up
Whatever.
right now? What are you doing?
I'm texting Max, so we can probably end this podcast.
Oh, okay.
He was just like, why haven't I been on all day? I was like, I don't know, because you think more about your wife than playing video games with your friends.
Can't say the same for you.
You know,
It's fine. We're not married, so.
even still, you know that, like, I see you every day. We have our thing. We have a podcast together.
Listen, I wasn't actually complaining.
Yeah,
it was
no, I
just
know.
an easy dig.
No, that's cool. But
still not convinced Max isn't a robot.
yeah, the other day he was just like, beep boop, powering on.
And he kept sending like smiley faces to me and Jordan. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, whatever drugs
That's
he's
not
on has
Max.
changed
Did he ask
him.
you to rate your experience?
Oh my God, is Max a Russian bot?
No, he's a shadow person.
He
No,
does work
same
with
thing.
Russians.
He does work with Russians.
Maybe they.
Holy
maybe.
fuck. Is Max a
fuck.
shadow person? I hope he doesn't listen to this.
I hope we don't die. If you guys don't hear from us in a week or two, eventually, if we stop having a podcast, it's because Max listened to this episode.
And he figured
And
it
he
out.
figured
Why
it
are you
out
like
and we
crying? Why
died.
are you about? He's like,
Because I didn't want to end my sentence, but I had to breathe. So
he sounded like the monkey
I
sounds in fucking songs like.
I wanted, I wanted to get it all out before I had to breathe.
Anyway, I'm hungry, so like, are we?
Yeah, no,
are
I'm
we
starving.
good?
We're good. Thank you for tuning in. Our sponsors this week.
I wish people would actually listen to this so we could get like recommendations or like we could have a poll about things.
Dude, I love polls.
Same.
Our Twitter
I used
handle
to try
at
Twitter polls all
apartment
the time.
205.
No one ever did them.
Comment on our YouTube. If I didn't even post the last video.
You don't need to.
Instagram.
It's not a good one. We can
Start
skip
following on Instagram. You can comment on Instagram, even though
We have one follower on Instagram, and
It's
it's
you.
me.
We have one follower on YouTube, and it's me.
We have two, I think, on Twitter.
yeah,
Probably
but they're
both
like
bots.
yeah. Oh, SoundCloud. I put it on SoundCloud, so you can comment on SoundCloud, or you can just email us at apartment205podcast@gmail.com.
Well, it's APT, right? Or is it
oh
apartment
yeah,
spelled
APT.
out?
No, APT205.
Well, isn't
podcast.
it APT.205?
You don't have to do. You don't
podcast?
actually have to do that. Believe it or not,
Oh.
you can just put in APT205 podcast, even with the dots, because apparently
What technology
Um,
is this?
Russian
Russians.
bots. All right, everybody, enjoy your week.
Bye, Russians.
Put a 5 on it.
Adios.